Does the record of nature testify truthfully about what God has done? And are there other passages in Scripture that accurately talk about what's going on in Genesis chapter 1? And Hugh, you had a comment.
Yeah, I did, but let me respond first to what Ken said about the sun. I do agree that God could have created a sun for the first 3 days, removed that sun and replaced it with a second sun.
Well, it doesn't even have to be a sun. He could do anything, right?
Well, it had to be something with the same mass or the gravitational pull as the sun, with the same light and the same heat.
We don't know how God works, all his supernatural powers. He could do anything, right?
Ken, listen, what I'm saying is that if God did something like that, it would leave a record. It would change the characteristics of the motions of the planets and the asteroids. When God performs a miracle, he doesn't erase the evidence of that miracle. And we astronomers look at the dynamics of the solar system, we see no evidence that God had done something for these.
When God healed people, there was no evidence left of their disease.
But the healing was there. We could see that they were healed.
Now it was brand new.
Well,
so there's no evidence of what happened in the past. If someone was to examine them without knowing what happened,
But in the case of the solar system, God would actually have to erase the evidence of what he'd done. He'd have to fool us into thinking he didn't perform a miracle at all. When God performs a miracle, there's clear evidence of that miracle. In the case of the solar system, there's no record of that. There's no evidence that that's happened.
Well, when God performed miracles in raising people from the dead, if you weren't there to see it, you're just going to see a live person walking around.
But there were people there that did see it. I mean, why would God fool the astronomers? I mean, you're claiming he performed this miracle, but when we look at the evidence of the solar system, there's no evidence of that miracle.
God is infinite in power, infinite in wisdom, infinite knowledge.
I appreciate that.
He can do anything that he wants to do, and his ways are above our ways. We don't understand what he does.
But it's a God that can't lie or deceive. I mean, what you're proposing would force us to conclude that God has deceived us.
Not at all. We don't know what he did to create the universe. We don't know the particular things that were involved in that. Those things aren't happening today, not operating today. Is that right, Jason?
That's right. I mean, God's way of creating the universe is different than his way of upholding the universe. And we know that because God ended his work of creation on the seventh day. So whatever God was doing on those first days of the creation week, he's not doing it today.